Lacrosse Women's Basketball Show. I'm Kevin Shea, joined alongside by the coach of the Lady Satyrs, Bill Gibbons. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Good to be back for another season on the air, Kev, with you.
And you start the non-conference. We talk about that first, your non-conference schedule. 6-6 in non-conference games. You played 4 teams ranked in the top 20, and another team that was ranked in the preseason poll. You know, you say it every year. This is my toughest non-league schedule, but this year, was that true?
Right, it was true. I do say that every year, but no one that can argue with us this year that this was by far the toughest. And the schedules are done a couple years in advance, so you don't know where teams are going to be ranked. But with the rankings, as you said, 4 teams ranked, and 1 team that we played was in the preseason ranking. So it was by far our toughest schedule. Even those other games, Siena at Siena, tough game. Northeastern at Northeastern, they just upset Vermont at Northeastern. And then playing Maine, who wasn't ranked, but is a very good team. So even those other, quote, patsies, if you will, were very tough games. So a very demanding schedule, 6-6. Maybe if you told me before the year, would you be happy with 6-6? I would have said, yeah, but, you know, once you get into it, you say, you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda, maybe. But the main thing is, I think it really made us better. It tested us. Are we getting better as a team? Yes. And you play those games to get better for your conference schedule, which is your ticket to the big dance. And so I don't regret scheduling those games.
And like you say, you schedule them so that the players will learn and the players will grow and adjust. How much do you learn as a coach from watching and playing against a UConn, a Vanderbilt? Do you pick up little things as a coach that say, you know what, I'd like to implement this with our team, or I like the way they ran that play?
Right, yeah, I think you looked at, you know, you got to keep learning. I told that to girls today at practice. As a coach, you have to keep learning, and stealing, if you will, is another way to put it. So there are some things that we like that those real good teams do that we try to implement for our league schedule. But the main thing is we played a different style in those games, Kev, than we're going to play in the league. It just athletically, we had a controlled tempo and shorten the game a little more against those top 25 teams. Now, in the Patriot League, we've got to get back to our old style that we're familiar with playing in the Patriot League, is pressing, running, and trying to lengthen the game, if you will, because we feel, you know, teams will have more trouble stopping us for longer stretches, whereas like a team against UConn, we wanted to shorten the game and slow it down so we didn't have to stop them as much on the defensive end. So it's kind of a chess match a little bit, but I think we're finding our identity, and we know how we have to play in the Patriot League, the style of play.
And you were hit with some injuries, preseason injuries. You lose 2 players. Hit with some injuries in the beginning of the season, too. Just talk about that and the juggling act that you had to do with your roster and getting those freshmen in very quickly.
Right. That's another thing about the non-conference schedule made a couple years in advance. I figured we'd have Kristen Popovics and Becky Flynn, 2 veteran guys. Becky started and Kristen came off the bench. They both were hurt in the summer and out for the year. So now my freshmen had a baptism of fire, and maybe with a tough non-conference schedule, you wouldn't want to do that with freshmen, but still, their confidence is still up, and they have not lost confidence. The freshman being Sarah Plasek, our starting point guard, who's done a terrific job. Shannon Bush coming off the bench, and most recently, Jessica Conti doing a real nice job and getting more and more confidence. So all 3 of those, I think, are going to grow up big time from that schedule. Then, as you said, we had Lisa Andrews down for a couple games with injury. Maggie Fontana, who's a big part of our offense and our team, down with a tailbone injury and an ankle injury, and we had to juggle some things. But it gave the freshmen more minutes, and knock on wood, we're healthy now, and I think ready to play our best basketball in the league.
And Maggie Fontana really emerging as a leader as well. We're going to take a short break and be back with more of the Holy Cross Women's Basketball Show right after this.
Phenomenon that's sweeping the nation.
I feel stronger, more relaxed, and more...
Welcome back, everyone. Holy Cross's last non-league game before they started the Patriot League schedule was against Colorado State, a team that was ranked in the top 20 in the preseason. Let's take a look at some of those highlights at the Hart Center. Rams coming in, a very highly touted bunch, a team that had lost by 1 point to Notre Dame, holding them to 46 points, and that was at Notre Dame.
Right, I saw that film. They really should have beaten Notre Dame. Very good team. Have a new coaching staff, but in the last 7 years, they've won like 180 games. They're a terrific program. This kid Osberger was as good as anyone we played against, the kid 00. Had a little trouble, didn't know how to play them early, Kev. We didn't know whether we should control tempo like the UConn game. Finally, in the second half, we came out after them and played that style that we're going to play in the Patriot League. There's a great pass from Shannon Bush to Lisa, and it was much more effective for us, and we really learned how to play. There's Maggie on a nice baseline drive from Mary Rose. So this was the Patriot League style, and again, I think this physical game Thursday hurt us a little bit Saturday because we only had 36 hours to prepare for the next game. But they were a terrific team, and I think we learned from this loss, as tough as it was. We showed a lot in the second half.
Maggie Fontana ties a career high with 24 points. You see Sarah Plasek, she actually had 9 rebounds to lead your club in rebounds, about 5'3",
right,
and
right.
she comes up with the most rebounds for the team. And as you mentioned, this is, in terms of frustrating, I'm sure this game was for you because it was so close, and it was a game that if you were at the game and watched the game, you could say, you know what, you ran out of time. If that game goes 2 more minutes,
right.
maybe Holy Cross wins it. You had momentum, you were taking it to them, and had cut a 16-point deficit down to 4.
Right, it's Jess Conti with a big hoop coming off the bench. It was a great college basketball game to watch. I mean, one of the better games I've coached in, just up and down, and both teams playing real hard and answering. They just had more answers at the end. But I think the big thing from this is we played 94 feet, Kev. We've mixed up our pressure. We played man-to-man defense and the things we're going to be doing in the league. And as I told the girls afterwards, if we had made that comeback playing, quote, the non-conference way and playing slow down, I'd be a little worried. But I think we found ourselves and found this is the way we have to play in this league. And a couple people mentioned that's the old Holy Cross team that we know and love, especially at home in the Hart Center, up and down the floor. Here's Liz making a big steal during the comeback with a nice bounce pass to Sarah. So we got the crowd into it, and the bench was into it. And again, we're kind of sick of knocking on the door against these terrific teams and not being able to finish them off. But hopefully, you know, we've learned from that, and we can trade off by having some great wins in the Patriot League to get us back to the big game.
Lisa Andrews had a big game for you, 9 points in 13 minutes. Here's the end of the game. You see 73-69. But as you mentioned, this is all in preparation for the Patriot League schedule. As we look at the preseason polls, no surprise here. You're the team to beat again. Preseason pick to win the league, followed by Bucknell, Colgate, Lehigh, Navy, American, Army. There's a lot of parity in the league, and you mentioned it just talking about some of the scores over the past weekend.
Right, you have. I mean, Bucknell gets beat, Colgate gets beat by the team that's picked 8th, and Lehigh upsets Navy, even though in there it wouldn't look like an upset, but seeing the non-conference schedule. So we're used to that. Those polls really don't mean anything right now. You know, I don't even talk about them with the girls. The poll at the end of the year is the important one. That last poll is who is the champion, and we want to finish first in the league. And you know, we had to come out and get a win and need a win against Colgate to start 2-0 in the league now that we're 1-0. But Army, very physical. Army 7th, I think, is a joke. I think they're one of the top 4 teams in the league, and you know, they're a team to be reckoned with. Very physical team, and probably the worst team you want to play, Kev, coming after a top 30 team on a Thursday night. But I thought the girls showed a lot. We didn't play a great game. It was a little ugly, but we found a way to win. There's Lisa on a nice feed to Maggie. We posted up Maggie a little more, and we will be doing that in the league because we think she's tough to handle for God. There's Shannon Bush. We've got to be able to hit the outside shot, the three-pointer. We talked, Kev, about as we haven't made as many. I think a lot of that is the schedule, but we got to be able to loosen teams up by hitting the 3. There's Katie on a terrific scoop shot drive that she made.
And she had a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds. Yeah, you and I talked about the three-point shooting in the non-league games. You didn't see it as much as we've seen it from past Holy Cross teams, but as you mentioned, that's because the style of play is different, the defenses are different. And in talking about the parity in the league, every team is up for you. You're every team's championship game, and you really cannot take a night off and have to match every team's intensity. And you talked about Army being a 7 seed. Any team that has Katie McFarland
Right.
has a chance to win on any given night.
Right, and I still think if you ask the Patriot League teams, what's the one team you'd love to beat, they're not going to say Bucknell. They're going to say Holy Cross, you know, even despite Bucknell upsetting us last year. So we still had a team to beat, and we're used to that. We know we have to come ready to play every night. Here's Katie hitting a 3 when they back off her. I think the other point we didn't discuss, Kev, here's a great block by Mary Rose, and you see our manager Tim and Bobby getting excited on the bench there. But we've got to be able to go 9 deep. Patty Fitzgerald and Jess Connie did a terrific job in the Colorado State game for us. And again, against Army, we used them, and we're going to continue to use them. If you play more up-tempo, you have to play more players, Kevin. We feel we can go 9 or 10 deep and wear down the teams in the Patriot League. There was a great no, we call it no break, where we just reversed the ball. Maggie made a backdoor for a reverse layup. They get when they're off an out-of-bounds play that shouldn't have happened. We had our hands on a loose ball. But we executed good offense. We ran our Celtic top play and got Katie enough shots down the stretch, and Maggie enough shots to finish. Liz O'Connor had a big steal late when it was a 4-point game and converted to make it 6, and that kind of put the nail in the coffin a little bit. There's a no-look pass.
It's a great
from Sarah.
pass right there.
Sarah's playing like a fifth-year senior, not a freshman. She's really, I know she's a little down about her shooting, but she made a pull up there, and she's just got to step into her shot, and I'm confident that she's one of our better three-point shooters, too. So.
And we talk all the time about scores, and they're going to get the headlines, the person who puts up the 20 points, 18 points. But we saw a block from Mary Rose Campbell, and you look in the box score, and she's never going to be your leading scorer, but she's always going to have 9 rebounds. She leads the team in rebounding. She has the big block that kind of ignites the bench and gets the crowd excited. Just talk about her game and what she brings to the team.
Well, she just sets the tone from a standpoint defense and rebounding. There's no one more intense, and I think that is contagious, Kev. What she brings us, ripping away a rebound, or how she goes up amongst the monsters and just has those strong hands up there to get it. She really sets the tone defensively, and we just need her to get a little more confidence in her offense. That's why we have a kind of a two-headed monster when Lisa can come in and give us that offense and that scoring. And she just got in foul trouble in the Army game, and that hurt us a little bit. But we talked after the game, and we need Lisa to come in off the bench against Colgate and give us some scoring up front and rebounding.
And you mentioned it may have not been an artistic masterpiece, the game against Army, but a win's a win. And in this league, the most important thing is you hold serve on your home court and to get off on a good start, get off on the right foot, and that starts with beating an Army team no matter what the final score is.
Right. Well, there's no question. I think that's the precedent we have set, and people that picked up the newspaper on Sunday, some people called me and didn't know whether we won or not, because a shaky start, I'll take a shaky start with an 11-point win when you're coming off a game Thursday night and you didn't shoot the ball well. I think it shows that you got to take the positives out of that as a coach, that we played great defense. We rebounded the ball. We made our free throw, 16 for 18 from the free throw line, outscoring them 16-8. You know, there's an 8-point differential. Right. So the things we wanted to do, we made more free throws than they attempted. So the only thing is we didn't shoot the ball well. And, hey, give Army some credit. They came in here sky high, as you said. They played their best game of the season. They were coming off a loss on Tuesday. They had 3 days to prepare for us. We knew it was going to be a dogfight, and we'll take that. But if anyone thinks we're going to go through the league and beat everyone by 20 points, you know, that just doesn't happen anywhere in college basketball. So even UConn now, I mean, they beat Rutgers the other day by 5 or 7 at home. I mean, Gino will take that win, but you pick up the Connecticut papers, it's like they lost.
The sky is falling. Little chicken little mentality. Well, the main thing is you're 1-0 in league play. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll introduce you to Holy Cross's 3 sophomores, so stay with us.
Introducing the best of Beavis and Butthead.
I am Cornholio. I need...
Let me show you how simple this is. You put this CD in your CD tray. The lesson plays right on your computer. It works just like a VCR. Just follow the step-by-step instruction. I'm so confident this product will work for you, I'm going to send it to you free. And the reason I'm going to do this is because I know once you try our product, you'll come back to us for all your computer learning needs.
To get your free computer learning CD, you must call now. Call 1-800-675-3470.
The Holy Cross women's basketball team would like to thank the following for their support. Biagio's Grill, 275 Park Avenue in Worcester. O'Connor's Restaurant and Bar, 1160 West Boylston Street in Worcester. Bucci's Fine Jewelry, 205 West Boylston Street in West Boylston.
Welcome back, everyone. We have three guests, three players joining us now. We'll introduce them first. Maggie Fontana, Lisa Andrews, and Caitlin Agostinaccio. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll start first with Maggie. What has been your favorite road trip so far this season, and why?
I definitely have to say Nashville, just because we went to a country line dancing bar and restaurant and had so much fun country line dancing, seeing the Grand Ole Opry Hotel, wonderful, gorgeous. Want to go to there again, stay there sometime. And of course, playing Vanderbilt at Vanderbilt was nice as well.
Lisa?
I definitely have to say Nashville too. We went to the Wild Horse Saloon, which is like as Maggie said, like a country line dancing. And the entire team got out there, and the announcers, oh, this, kind of like, I want to see you guys doing this move on the basketball court, doing a little line dancing. So it was a great time. So.
Who was the worst dancer of the group?
Coach. Besides that. No, I think everyone's got some moves.
Caitlin, how about you? You haven't been to the team that long. What was your favorite trip?
Yeah, Nashville was unbelievable. Everyone had their cowboy hats, and playing Vanderbilt, it was an unbelievable arena. It was just, their court is set up a little bit differently, and probably the biggest place I've ever played. So it was really exciting for me.
And you played volleyball with Holy Cross in the fall, then came onto the team right near the beginning of the season. Just talk about that whole odyssey and how it became that you're on the team now and became a part of the team.
Yeah, it's really kind of funny. The volleyball season ended, and I was looking for something to kind of keep in shape. And I room with Lisa. She's my roommate. So I knew numbers were down, and I figured, maybe I'll try practicing with them and see how that goes. So I started practicing with them, probably for about a week, and then we had Thanksgiving. And I came back from Thanksgiving break, and Coach invited me on the team. And I was, it was unbelievable. And 2 days later, we played UConn. So it was really
a great way to start your college career, playing the defending national champs. You guys were both injured for the UConn game, but just talk about the beginning of the season. You seem to be, Maggie, taking more of a role in the leadership role, more of a leader on this team. Just talk about your role with the team and how you see yourself.
Well, I think we have some great leaders in our three captains, and obviously Becky as well. I try to be a leader out there on the court and everything, but right now I think everybody's out there and contributing enough, so just kind of laying low and following what everybody else is doing and what's going on.
And Lisa, how about the style of play? Because when you guys played in the beginning of the season, when you're playing all the top 20 teams, it was more of a slow down style. Let's keep it a half-court game and make the other team really hold on to the ball for a long period of time. Now, in the Patriot League, you guys switch gears and say, we're going to be the aggressors, we're going to be the attackers. How much of an adjustment is that for you and for the rest of the team?
I think it's great because I think that it forces us to look deeper in our bench. And I think that seeing some of the other players get out there, like Jessica Conti, who has an amazing three-point shot, and I think, because it's such a fast-paced game that we're going to have to, look deeper, and I think it's going to help us in the long run. More people get more confidence, and I think that the possibilities are going to be great to see.
And Caitlin, you're from Long Island, so your parents have had a chance to come up and see you a couple times, actually drove through a blizzard to see you against UConn. How nice is it for you to be able to look up in the stands and see your family?
Yeah, it's great. I mean, they're great supporters. I think they drove 13 hours there and back to come see me play at UConn, along with my aunt and uncle. So and they love it. They're so happy to see me out on the court and cheering everyone on. So it's been great.
And speaking of the road trips, we heard that on the flight out, you actually helped out some of the flight attendants on the flight down to Nashville. You can tell us maybe a little bit more about that?
Yeah, we have one friendly flight attendant, and he was just asking me and Coach Kinney to help out with his job, make it a little more easier on him. So got to hand out extra pretzels, and Coach Kinney got to collect the garbage.
I think you got the better job of the two. Lisa, what did you do this summer preparing for this season, and what was it like not to be the defending champs? I mean, you guys are just sophomores, but this is the first time in 5 years that a Holy Cross women's team has not gone into the summer as the defending Patriot League champs.
Well, I think for starters, the want, like, you know, you look and you see everyone's got rings in their fingers. And, you know, it kills because we had the chance at that and, you know, it didn't happen for us. And I think that, you know, I think almost that puts more drive for Maggie and I to want to, you know, go to the NCAAs and then, you know, make it to the NCAAs and then do something there, you know, win a couple deep, and that would be, you know, great. As for what I did this summer, I worked up with Coach Oliver again, and his program that he has up there is amazing. And I'm excited to work with him this summer. He's, you know, he brings in, like, there's the football guys up there, hockey guys. You know, Katie and I worked out with all of them. And so it was just, you know, leaps and bounds. I mean, you know, when you come back, you're so much stronger, and it's great.
Yeah, it's a lot of confidence as well as the physical strength. One final question, Caitlin. Was it a tough adjustment for you coming onto the team, you know, at the beginning of the season? Were you nervous about it?
I was a little nervous, but the team, they're all so friendly and great, really. They've all helped me out a lot in adjusting, and yeah, they're great. I love everyone. They're so kind.
Smooth transition. Well, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you.
We'll be back with more of the Holy Cross Women's Basketball Show right after this.
The new and improved Total Gym XL. Over 80 muscle-burning exercises target individual muscles or work entire muscle groups all at once. We defy you to find any piece of equipment that can work virtually every muscle in the body and do it with this kind of speed and ease, from beginner to the most physically fit. Best of all, you'll actually finish your workout in less time than it would take you to drive to the gym. The Total Gym is used by bodybuilders, gymnasts, and the LA Fire Department. And you can also use the Total Gym for an incredible Pilates routine. We guarantee you'll get the results you want in 60 days or we'll refund your money. Right now, we have the lowest payment plan ever. Call now and get started with your Total Gym for as little as $29.95 a month.
So why not give it a try? Believe me, once you try it, you'll be hooked for life.
To try your Total Gym for payments as low as $29.95 per month, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-924-4001. That's 1-800-924-4001.
You know, there are many charities that the Holy Cross women's basketball team deals with and helps out. One of them is the Mercy Center. Recently, the Lady Satyrs went down to the Mercy Center to talk to the kids and also engage in a little scrimmage. Andy Lacombe has the story.
Playing in front of an energetic crowd, the Holy Cross women's basketball team faced a tough opponent today in the Mercy Center All-Stars. And though the Crusaders were losing, the players were all smiles. Each year, the Lady Crusaders visit the students at the Mercy Center in Worcester, a school for people with developmental disabilities. And each year, the women challenge the students to a game.
It just brings us so much joy that these special children can give so much to us and are just so thrilled just to be able to mingle with us and learn something about the game of basketball.
Hanging on every basket, the Mercy Center crowd watched as their home team ran side by side with Holy Cross. The center says their students look forward to the game all year long.
I think it's evidenced on the children's faces when you see the smiles that they display. They're just so excited and so happy to have Holy Cross here.
And the Crusader players who visit the Mercy Center several times each season say the annual game means a lot to them.
It kind of erases all the loss and all the tough parts, you know, when you're having a bad day. And to come down here and see the smiles on the children's faces, there's just nothing like it. It's the best medicine anyone could ever give you. I think we try and send a positive message by doing this. I mean, we all come out here, we all want to have fun, and we know that basketball is one way that we have fun, so we try and bring it to the other kids.
The Mercy Center beat the Crusaders 16-14, marking the 10th straight victory for the Mercy Center students over the Lady Crusaders, sending Coach Gibbons and his squad back to the practice courts.
We'll have to watch a little more film and really get back to the drawing board to try to meet them. I know a couple of the Patriot League teams have already called them for a scouting report on us because they do have our number.
I'm sure Coach will run us pretty hard and, you know, get us to grab the rebounds away and get after it today in practice.
And with all the high fives and smiles after today's game, the Lady Crusaders say they've never felt better after a loss. For the Holy Cross Basketball Show, I'm Andy Lacombe, Channel 3 Sports.
Thank you, Andy. That's a great story, and it's, like we said, one of the many charities that you and your team work with and help out with. And community service has always been a big aspect, I think, of your coaching and what you bring your players and how you get them involved in the community.
Well, being from the Worcester area, Kev, yeah, you want to give something back. We went to the Jewish Community Center where I actually started playing my basketball organized in 6th grade up at the JCC and Bob Berman. We've gone up there the last couple of years. Holy Rosary Church with Father Sanders. We gave a clinic yesterday, and this is the good time to do it when the girls don't have classes. You don't want to spread them too thin, and they really enjoy it. It's a chance for them to get out of the dorm and give something back, as they said. But the Mercy Center is kind of our unofficial, team member, and they love it, and we love going over there.
And you can see the smiles on the kids' faces. Well, Coach, thanks very much. Good luck in the upcoming schedule. I know you're on the road for 3 games in the Patriot League, and we appreciate you for joining us.
Okay, Kev, we'll see you down the road. Good to be with you.
Thank you for joining us on the Holy Cross Women's Basketball Show. We'll see you again real soon.